PlayStation sucks. They are definitely going to cease to exist 10 years from now due to their terrible $70 games and their lack of a Game Pass competitor. Now today we're going to talk about why PlayStation's gonna die. Just jokes, but after owning my PlayStation and Xbox for a while now, they definitely have their own strengths and weaknesses. Jumping back and forth between the two platforms has me appreciating many of these differences, but also has me wishing there was a little more common ground on certain key areas. I'm loving my PS5, but here are 5 Xbox things that I wish my PlayStation had. This first one is obvious to anyone who doesn't live under a rock, and that is Game Pass. To set the record, I think PlayStation Plus is a solid service for the price. At $10 a month, the service is a little overpriced in my opinion, but get the annual subscription for $60 and $10 a month is cut in half to $5. I got my year of Plus on sale for $20, so effectively I'm paying something like $2 a month. But no matter how cheap you get Plus, or PlayStation Now for that matter, Game Pass remains the best deal in gaming. With a massive library of quality titles, all accessible for $10 to $15 a month, PlayStation has nothing to match Xbox on this level. I really appreciate the PlayStation Plus collection that comes with the PS5 with a lot of all-time classics, but this just can't stack up to Game Pass when you have day one releases on there, as well as many high-profile third-party releases coming out just a few months after release. You have first-party games like Forza Horizon 5 available, as other games like Guardians of the Galaxy are being dropped regularly. I recently downloaded the Hitman trilogy, but I haven't even been able to make time to play it, which is a good problem to have versus spending $70 on a first-party Sony title just to find out it's not for you. As of this recording, there is Spartacus in the works, but there isn't any evidence that we know of to support the idea that it's going to be a direct competitor to Game Pass. Now, this next topic isn't really a big factor in why you would or would not buy a console, but it definitely can make a difference depending on your lifestyle, and that is portability. I've seen plenty of people complaining about the size and style of the PS5 in their entertainment setups, but for me the real issue here is how not portable it is. I feel like it might break or get damaged if I ever dared to move it or transport it to another location. A little after Gran Turismo 7 came out, I wanted to bring it over to my dad's house so he could check out the graphics and the DualSense implementation. After a few minutes of looking at the thing, I started to have second thoughts whether that was actually a good idea. Even the idea of moving the PlayStation from my living room to my bedroom gives me mild stress. I guess I have been spoiled these past few years with the Switch being the definition of portable. My Series S isn't a Switch by any means, but feels way more portable over the PS5. I feel more than comfortable throwing my Series S into a backpack and taking it almost anywhere with me. From what I've seen, the Series X isn't as on-the-go ready as the S, but is definitely a better form factor to bring around with you over the PS5. I've been loving that this generation, 60 FPS has become standard with 120 being another option as well. With all these variations in frame rates from consoles, games, and TVs, VRR is a huge deal when it comes to getting the smoothest gaming experience. The PS5 utilizes an HDMI 2.1 cable, which is capable of a variable refresh rate, yet Sony hasn't enabled this feature. I know that these departments I'm about to mention are different, but it is kind of funny to me that Sony also makes high-end TVs that support VRR, but yet their consoles do not at this time. To a certain extent, someone could make the claim that Xbox outputs a better image on a Sony television than a Sony console. The percentage of TV owners with variable refresh rate isn't very high at the moment, but I think most people who have taken the time, money, and effort to get their hands on a PS5 probably have a decent TV. I just think it's a shame to lack such an important feature to smooth gaming. This feature would also cater to those wanting to hook up their system to a nice monitor. As a side note, also related, it'd be really nice if the PS5 supported 1440p. I just have my PS5 hooked up to a 4K TV, but there are enough people out there this option would be really nice. Quick Resume is probably one of the most hyped features when people are talking Xbox. Coming from a PS4 to a Series S, Quick Resume mixed with the general benefits of an SSD really wowed me. Once I got a PS5, the feature wasn't as impressive to me, with games loading so insanely fast from a standstill. I really didn't think the feature was as important as I initially did. After some time with both consoles, I am now somewhere in the middle. The SSD on the PS5 is fast enough at booting in and out of most games. I often didn't miss Quick Resume, but the important factor here is the game or games you are playing. Games with fast load times and a generous autosave, it really doesn't make that big of a difference, but as soon as you start bouncing in and out of titles that are a little less forgiving unintentionally or by design, then the feature makes a huge difference. It's also worth noting how handy this feature is when you're sharing your console with others. Quick Resume is a nice, convenient feature I do wish the PS5 had. The fifth Xbox thing that I do wish my PS5 had was a greater backwards compatibility. From the launch of the PS4 and Xbox One, both consoles this generation are killing it in comparison to last time around. PlayStation has done a great job of going back and updating the PS4's library, but not quite to the same degree as Xbox. I understand that backwards compatibility for the PS3 is tricky, but even beyond that, Xbox's approach to upgrades is still better overall. Plenty of old OG Xbox and 360 games have been boosted and enhanced, with all Xbox One version of games receiving free upgrades, unlike PlayStation, where depending on the tea leaves you may or may not have to pay money. I'm not much of a retro gamer, with most old games being better in my head than in reality today, but I do have a decent sized PS3 library that I wish I could bring with me into this generation, as well as last one. While this wasn't always the case, Xbox is easily the better platform for bringing your old games with you and with perks. I think we can all agree, like any other entertainment medium, the preservation of games is very important. I enjoy all my consoles, but think PlayStation could really take notes from some of the things Xbox is doing right. Personally, I love that this generation is starting out so competitively, with all console manufacturers firing on all cylinders, including Nintendo, because as I've said before, us the consumer end up as the real winners of these so-called console wars. Did I miss anything in this video, or am I just horribly wrong about something? Definitely let me know down below, and if you liked the video, please leave me a like. I will be making another one of these videos on the flip side of things, talking about PlayStation things I wish Xbox had. As usual, I appreciate you for watching, and until next time, see ya!